At the end of every year, we tend to say, can you believe the year we've had? But let's be honest, this year, things have been really tough. We need some warmth right now. We need to hear from strong people who've done amazing things.
100%. So heading into the holidays, we're bringing you an episode that looks back on some of the Breakout's most inspirational guests from 2025. The ones who can launch us into the new year with the tools to go forward. The ones who are all about resilience. Whether they teach resilience or they demonstrate it, their stories show us how to bounce back and be better. I'm Kelly Guenther.
And I'm Dr. Keri Ohlrich. Grab some eggnog and settle in because this is the Breakout's holiday episode. During the holidays, we get to celebrate the light in the darkness. And that's what makes this episode and the guests that we have so poignant during this time. Because for me and for many of our listeners, they are the light in the darkness.
2025 has been a challenging year for the most vulnerable in our world. It's hard to watch people who are struggling financially, physically, mentally, emotionally when we're in a country that is as evolved as we are.
I would sum up 2025 for me personally as dualities. So we have some things that have happened that are heartbreaking. And then on the flip side, we get to talk to these amazing people who are making a difference in what can be a very difficult world.
One of those people is Tristan Reese. Tristan told us his story in our June episode, and he still kind of blows my mind. Here's someone who is a trans man who is intentionally and bravely open and public about his life and family so that his own story might change minds about LGBTQ+ issues.
He had a trans pregnancy and was really public about it so more people could learn about all the unique ways people create families. Not only that, in his advocacy work, he's actually going door to door to really talk to people one-on-one about their views, not confrontationally, but as a way to humanize each other.
It's really about your mindset going in, to do your absolute best to come from a place of non-judgment, to really feel somatically, like in your cells, that this person is not stupid, this person is not hateful or bigoted, this person is you on a different path. It is very likely that had you been born into the family that they were born into, or the community they were born into, and the culture they were born into, if you had been inculcated with the same messages they had, you might believe what they believe as well. You might be as afraid of change as they are. And now we have, studies looking at conversations we had a decade ago, longer, and we can already see that this is the most effective long-term method for changing people's hearts and minds. It is not their church. It is not a commercial on TV. It's not a plot line on a TV show. It is a face-to-face conversation with someone like that's structured in this way. So it's effective. And so for me, anytime I felt that judgment or if it was hitting a piece of personal pain, I just thought, like, what's more important in that moment? My desire to be right or to prove them wrong or to one-up them or to assert power when I felt mostly powerless in my life? Like, does that matter more than the long-term change that I want and need for my community? And the answer is no. It might feel good in the moment, like scratching a mosquito bite feels good.
Yes.
But it's not actually effective. And I just want to be effective. I just want the world to be better. And I know showing up in my anger and judgment and blame and shame, it's just not effective. So then why would I do it? And so it's just practice, healing, and then being just so deeply in love with a transformed world that I'm willing to fight for that way more than I'm willing to be right or to make someone feel like crap in the moment.
Could I do what Tristan does? No, I think I can do it if it weren't such a personal thing, that when people are saying, I don't believe in your way of life and I think you should die, that's really tough.
I know I couldn't. In my mind, I would love to think that I could. To Keri's point, the personal assault that I think that he, has had to endure. And so I applaud him for being a voice and helping educate people, because it does take a significant amount of courage and bravery to do what he's doing. And to put your family out there, to put yourself out there is so impressive, especially in the turbulent times that we're in right now.
I just feel like, you know what? Tristan's doing his thing, and we'll continue to do our thing, Kelly, and help people with this podcast and our book and all of our stuff. That's the way we'll do it. That's our path for doing it. But Tristan is absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely. A true hero.
Rigid belief systems can get us into a lot of trouble. That's why I really loved hearing from Shelley Lefko in our August episode. She runs the Lefko Institute, where coaches help clients identify and then eliminate the beliefs that hold them back. The way she broke down how beliefs work and how to shake the ones that seem unshakable was really fascinating.
A belief is a statement about reality that we hold as the truth. I hear people who say they do belief work and they conflate patterns and beliefs. So I can't lose weight. That's a pattern. It may become a belief down the road, but that's an operating pattern, right? So the way to fulfill myself is to eat. The way to feel better is to eat. Those are beliefs. So if you have a belief, I'm not good enough is like a beach ball. And it's in your face and it's horrible. So we form beliefs like, what makes me good enough is achieving things. So that's what workaholism is. So we have to keep that beach ball underwater. So as long as I'm working, as long as I'm achieving, then the beach ball called I'm not good enough stays underwater. But it's driven and it's exhausting. I'm going to give you 3 things to look at: Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, or the Tooth Fairy. So I doubt anybody listening didn't believe in one of those things.
Yep.
And one day you got, I never saw Santa Claus. I made that up. I never saw the Easter Bunny or the Tooth Fairy. I just caught my mother putting money under my pillow. And the moment you get that you never saw Santa Claus, the belief goes away and never comes back. So it is impossible to not believe something you think you saw. And I have clients in every country. And when I say, doesn't it seem like you saw I'm not good enough? Kelly, everybody says, I did see it. And I say, really? What color, anything you can see, has a color, a shape, and a location? You cannot see I'm not good enough. You can see your father criticizing you. You cannot see I'm not important. You can see your parents not spending time with you. You cannot see life is hard, but you can see your parents struggling. Every single day of my life, people say to me, I've tried everything. This is the only thing that worked. Because the belief goes away. And once the belief goes away, there are possibilities that didn't exist before.
Kelly, I don't know about you, but every day we make up stuff in our heads of why maybe someone did that. Like, Kelly didn't call me today. That must mean she's mad. Kelly didn't answer my email. Like, we do it all the time. And when I think about resiliency, making up stuff in your head about things is going to damage your resiliency. And so that's why I love Shelley's example of Santa Claus, because isn't that a perfect one? We all believed it up until a point, and then you realize, oh, that's BS. And then, oh, okay, we're done.
I think her approach is one that's just so almost effortless, the way that she even presents it. You know, it's not asking you to rethink the whole way you look at life. It's just, just peel back the one layer. Where did it come from?
Yeah.
And it's kind of remarkable how almost lighter you feel once you realize that what you think and what you've carried along for maybe 20 years or however long it is, even 2 minutes, doesn't matter, that it's something that you made up in your own mind. It's something that isn't true at all. So what I like, though, is that she is so effortless in her approach, and she's very conversational in it, too. She's very open-minded and almost makes it fun when you think about it.
Yes. And I think, Kelly, not only is it fun, it's not this Freudian thing where you have to go back 50 years and kind of realize that there's a time and place for that, but not what Shelley's doing. And Kelly, it always reminds me of your perfect example. This is so many years ago where it was like a Friday afternoon and you had like not the best call with someone. And like all weekend you were fretting about it. And then when you talked to this person, like Monday morning, he just said, wait, what? Oh yeah, no, we're cool. And Kelly, I remember you said, I can't believe I wasted my entire weekend thinking about this when he didn't. And I always think about that because I thought, how much time and energy do we all take on things that the other person is kind of like, no big deal. So thank you, Kelly, for giving me my learning moment.
Absolutely. Plenty of them.
To keep pushing through when you're up against some old school beliefs, you have to be pretty kick-ass. Sports broadcaster Jen Mueller is exactly that. She was our guest in September, and it was a high-energy conversation where she told us about the years and years it took her to break past the gender barriers in sports journalism to become a sideline reporter for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, we were allowed to do sports, is how I put it, but we were not supported or encouraged. The advice that I got early on was really terrible advice. It was things like, make sure that nobody knows who you are, that nobody recognizes that you're a woman. It's best if you don't say anything. It's best if you stand in the corner. It's best if you don't create waves. It'd be really good for all of us involved if nobody knew you were here. It was not fun to go to work every day. And as a result of those experiences in a locker room where people are actively yelling, actively telling you to get out, you learn how to stand your ground, how to speak up, but more importantly, how to make the most of whatever interaction you actually get with somebody.
I loved her tenacity. She just never took no for an answer. I mean, the amount of work she did to get the position that she has is insane to me. I don't know that any man has ever had to do that.
Oh, Kelly just dropped a little truth bomb on that one. She's like, I wonder if a man had to work that hard, giving some holiday sass. I love it.
I don't know if any man's been told, stand in a corner, pretend that you don't exist, pretend that you're not a man.
Yeah, at least no hetero-cis man.
This is true, yeah.
Hetero-cis white man, but yes.
But I do love that she was like, no, I became even more perseverant. I became even more tenacious. And I didn't take no for an answer. And I do have a place here. And, she won an Emmy as a result of it. And she has a Super Bowl ring.
Super Bowl ring. Her competitive spirit that was all about her competition within herself. Not tearing down other women, not tearing down other people, but just, I need to be competitive with myself to get this done. And I think that tenacity, that competitiveness, that assertiveness are things, especially as females, we're told not to have as much. And I love that she's out there talking about it. And I do appreciate that she put in all that time and work. So maybe for the next person, the next female, the next person who's slightly different, doesn't have to work as hard as she did to be in sports. So hopefully she has paved the road for many other gens.
Sometimes resilience is about having the courage to tell your story, even when it's a story you'd rather not relive. For me, Justin Moffat's episode was all about that quiet determination. In our May episode, he told us about his rising career as a young lawyer that came crashing down during a terrifying mental health breakdown.
Being told that you have bipolar disorder is not easy. There's a lot of stigma around it, particularly with my case and situation. There was a court case involved and other people's lives were affected and impacted because of my behavior. And so while I was wrestling with the stigma of the diagnosis like anybody else, I also had a lot of literal guilt and shame because of my behavior while in the throes of these manic psychotic episodes. It took a lot of self-love and grace to forgive myself and to achieve a sense of peace and serenity, and knowing that with this diagnosis, it wasn't me who consciously did these things, did these acts, hurt these people. And, you know, in some ways, I am kind of also a victim of my own body, which is a really difficult thing to grapple with because these things kind of happen to you. You wake up and you're told, like, you did this, and that can be very frustrating and unsettling.
I think anytime you're willing to expose a part of your life where you were in maybe total chaos, for lack of a better word, you didn't have the resources or support you needed, you were living a life that others wanted you to live, but it wasn't true to who you were. And, you know, you wind up in a psychiatric hold. You wind up in places that you never imagined that you would be. You're on the verge of losing everything. To be open enough to tell that story and be brave enough to tell that story, knowing what the consequences could be of being judged, maybe losing people in your life that you love and care about, that takes a tremendous amount of strength and courage.
So I think, Kelly, what's so beautiful about Justin's story and what makes me tear up is just the beauty of the human spirit. That's what's so beautiful.
Word.
That people can be so broken and then come back and help others. And that's what is so beautiful about humans. And I think why I get so frustrated when they don't do that. Because, like, look at Justin. Like, he's been through so much crud and shit. And he came back to help people and talk about it. And how beautiful is that? And that's like this beautiful spirit. And that's resiliency. And that's like what we're trying to get to everyone, Kelly. It's like you can bounce back even in the darkest of times.
Absolutely, Keri.
I think for advice for 2026 is, it kind of is what Tristan was talking about, is this long view. So it can be painful in the moment. It can feel like there is no light or no future. But when you actually look back at how we've evolved and how things have changed, change is a long game. Kelly and I talk about that to businesses when they want to change their culture within a day. Culture change can take 5 to 7 years at a company. It is a long game. So remember that. That doesn't mean you can't be sad and frustrated, and lean into that sad and frustration sometimes. Say, what can I do about it? Every time I get sad or frustrated, I might donate some more money to a candidate, or I might call someone and talk about it. I might lean on my friends, like Kelly said, but don't suppress it so much. What can you do? What's something, an action you can take to deal with what's happening to you right now? But then also remember, it's a long game. And so be kind to yourself, lean on people. And if you don't have people to lean on, find them. Call me and Kelly. Email us. Come on, we're here for you. That's the advice for 2026. And then I guess we have to add, like, exercise and lose weight. So that's, and eat better, whatever.
My advice is to lean on the people that love you the most, and to not be afraid to cry it out, to say, I need help, to raise your hand and ask for guidance. You don't have to know the answers to everything. There's no expectation that you do. My holiday wish for everyone is to live your best life.
I love what Kelly said. I'd say my holiday wish for everyone is buy our book. No, that I'm putting in too many shameless plugs now, Kelly, for our book to change your life, but it does. Holiday wish is don't be so hard on yourself.
And stop allowing people to take advantage of you.
Oh.
Like, demand more from your relationships, demand more from the people in your life, and truly surround yourself with people who truly support you for who you are and what you want.
Mic drop. And that's it for December, folks. And that's it for 2025.
Make sure to join us in the new year for brand new breakouts and more inspiration for living your life your way. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone.